Hello everyone and welcome back to the second video of exception. And in this video I will be first showing telling you some different types of exceptions that are there, and then show you all of them by examples and just write a program. And then there will be another video on the exceptions, showing how you can create your own exceptions and how you can log all those exceptions into a file, and that will be so much cool to do. So let's just get started in that part. So what exception is a representation of any exception. All exceptions are part of subclass of this class. That means there is a class called exception, and all the exceptions are part, or are subclasses of these exceptions. So some of the classes or some of the built-in functions I will be telling you. So first of all, we are going to start with arithmetic exception or arithmetic error. You remember the time when we divided the thing by 0? So this is zero division error, and this is part of a class called arithmetic error. What everything related to arithmetic comes in this. So if you are dividing it by 0, if you are using floating point and doing some mismatch, then it is a floating point error. And there is also something called overflow error, so some memory overflows. Next, we are having an assertion error. This is raised when we used assertion statements and the condition is not suitable for assertion. That means it cannot return true or false, and we are wanting some other sort of outputs, maybe some string, and we are using assert there. So that is also an error. Next up, we are having floating points error, when a floating point operation fails. Next, we are having an import error. So what is an import error? Let's just say we are importing a library and that library actually doesn't exist. Suppose numpy and numpy actually is in there in our library. We haven't said pip install numpy. If you don't know what pip install numpy is, please wait just for machine learning playlist to drop in. It is going to work with numpy and each and everything, and you're going to enjoy that so very much. Or you can just go back and see our videos on basic of Python. The last video is numpy. So yep, that's it. Also, there is an error called keyboard. Alright, let me just search for it. Keyboard interrupt. I have that error in our program here. So we are having a keyboard interrupt. What this program is, suppose that you are asking for an input. Let's just make this error as well. Block of code, a cell of code. That's much better. And we are having input, and this input is nothing but just a string hello. So it will just take input hello. Let's just run this, and instead of entering anything, let's just say control Z, or just escape to cancel. We just got this, but in statements like PyCharm, in IDEs like PyCharm or any other place, it will just return us an error. But this exception is being catched in our VS Code, because VS Code is probably a very good and smart IDE that most of the Python developers love to use, including me. Next up, we are having a name error. So a name error is something that if we just do this thing, I equals to 5. True. Alright, I is actually predefined, so let's just take k. K isn't defined, so we are having a name error that k is not defined. There exists no memory block with a reference of k. So that is an error. What else we are having? Let me just, in the page, we are having syntax error. A syntax error, let me just read the definition for you guys. Syntax error is raised when a compiler encounters with a syntax error. Import or execute statements and input and evaluations functions may raise this exception. This exception does not get raised in our try and except part, because Python doesn't works that way. It just says that there is an exception. It just says you are writing a syntax error. That means that program should never run. So it doesn't catches that, and instead always throws us error. So what we do is that we use eval to evaluate is there an error, or will that code of line work or not. So that is why we don't we are not able to catch any syntax error in our try and except blocks. We have to use eval always. Next up, we are having an indentation error. Alright, so yes, we have got our answer, and the answer says it like this way. Indentation error is raised when module is compiled. You can catch it when importing a module, since a module will be compiled on the first import. You can't catch it in the same module that contains try and except block, because with the indentation error, Python won't be able to finish compiling the module and no code will be able to run. So it is similar to like a syntax error, but only works on the time when we are importing something. It won't work if we are just trying to do what we did. Let's just open our VS Code. It is actually not catching it, but if we had some other function or some other class that we were importing and that was having an error, so that program would have definitely ran. So yep, that's all about all the errors that I wanted to show you guys. I believe this must be a little bit longer video, but let's just use the assert statement as well, or after that we will end this video. So what an assert function is, it is nothing but it checks the condition and it returns true and false. Very basic definition. So we are having x is equals to enter a number between 5 and 10, then we are having the assert statement checking the value, and then it is just printing x and y. So let's just run this block of code, and for the time being let's just enter 8. The enter number is 8, and let's just run this again, and instead of 8 let's just say 88. We have got an assertion error. So assertion error means that some condition was false, and this exception can be managed, and we can just check that if this assert function, if this condition is true, then assert, or maybe something like that. I am not sure at the moment, but I have used assert, so that's why I'm able to tell. What else? Just this way, the way I was telling you, sorry. So I was telling you this way, and just let's just print 88 again, and we are having condition not satisfied. Assertion error can be catched as well, but also sometimes it can be used as an if statement, that if any assertion is returning us true or it is returning us false, then it needs to do that or do that. But this just works like that. That's it. So thank you so much for this video, and in the next video we will see user defined exceptions in Python. Those are pretty much very interesting. So see you guys in that video. Till then, keep coding, stay safe, see you in the next video.